Hello friends, welcome to our channel called The History, where we apprise you of the important historical events which one should certainly know, along with the ancient, medieval and the modern history in order to enhance your knowledge. But before we move on, I request you to kindly subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon for the latest updates. In today's video, we're going to talk about the oldest languages in the world. It seems that academics and professionals are still not entirely sure of how old language is, but general consensus is that it has been with us since around 100,000 BC. As a result of this disagreement, it is even harder to accept which is the oldest surviving language. That is one that is still in use in our modern world. Friends, as far as written languages go, Sumerian and Egyptian seem to have the earliest writing systems and are among the earliest recorded languages, dating back to around 3200 BC. But the oldest written language that is still in actual use would probably be Chinese, which first appeared around 1500 BC, although ancient Greek also appeared in a specific written form around the same time. But when a language got written down, friends, for the first time, doesn't really have anything to do with how old it is. When we get into languages that are still in use, there are some interesting differences. Tamil. Yes, friends, the earliest discovered written examples of Tamil date back to 300 BC. However, based on other evidence, scientists believe that it first appeared around 2500 BC. And while it may not be known to a lot of people on our planet, today Tamil is spoken by around 78 million people, which makes it the longest surviving language in the world. The next comes in the Sanskrit language. Next in line is Sanskrit, the ancient language of India, which can be traced back to 2000 BC in its earliest written form. While today only a very small group of people still speak the language, it has had a large influence on several Western languages as part of the common Indo-European language route. What you might know, friends, is that the basic language of computers were also constructed along the principles of Sanskrit. Talking about the Greek language, best known as the language of philosophers and scholars, Greek is still spoken by more than 13 million people. Records reveal that the language dates back to around 1500 BC and is recognized as an official language by the European Union. Talking about the Chinese language, Chinese is the single most spoken language in the world today, with around 1.2 billion people speaking this language. The written origins of the language have been traced back to 1250 BC in the late Shang Dynasty. Along with Tamil, Chinese is one of the oldest surviving languages in the world. And the next comes in the Hebrew language. While many believe that Hebrew has been used for the last 5,000 years, its earliest written examples date only to 1000 BC. It is also an interesting example because it ceased to be spoken tongue from 200 BC to 400 BC and was spoken tongue from 200 CE to 400 CE and was only really resurrected as a living language after the creation of the State of Israel after the Second World War. At present, around 9 million people speak Hebrew across the world. Then comes the Arabic language. Friends, another ancient language with only relatively recent written examples is the Arabic language. The earliest example of Arabic inscription dates back to 512 CE. Today, about 290 million people consider Arabic as their first language, including the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, Iran, Israel, Egypt, Jordan, Kuwait, and Oman. This is just a short list of the languages that we still recognize and use today, friends. We know there have been many more languages, but they are either no longer spoken or lost to history, as no written records have ever been found. So friends, if you really like this video, I request you to kindly share this with your friends and your loved ones. Keep smiling and take care.